Okay, more application problems. A chemist needs 100 millilitres of a 64% solution, but only has 32% and 72% available. Okay, so here we go. The total amount of solution this chemist needs is 100 millilitres. So if you think about this, if I've got a jar of this chemical, all right, and I've got another jar of this chemical, okay, maybe this is not as much. Like if this is X and this is Y, if I pour them together and put them in a bigger jar, this is the total of 100 millilitres, okay? So again, if I add them together, pour them in together, I'll get 100 millilitres, okay? Now the percentage of the first one, let's have a look, is 32%. So 32%, I'll write this. That's the percentage in the first one. 72% is the percentage in the second one. And 64% is the total final solution. So that goes with the 100. Okay, so these are my two equations right here that I've got to deal with. Once that's done, hopefully the hard work is done, I'll move it down to this space down here. So we have x plus y equals 100 and 0.32y plus 0.72. Sorry, x, sorry folks, x, y equals 64. All I did was multiply those two, okay? Now, maybe what's easier for most people is just to multiply everything by 100 just to make life a little bit easier. In other words, 32x plus 72y equals 6400, okay? So if I multiply all that by 100, I'm just going to erase that middle line there, get rid of it. In other words, these are the two equations I'm going to use. Now, you can do one of two methods. You can do substitution. Maybe you can say that x equals 100 minus y if you take away y from both sides, and you would plug that right there. Keep on going, okay? Or you can do something like this. Why not multiply the first one by negative 32? The reason is it'll cancel the positive 32x here. Because if I multiply this one by negative 32, I'm going to get this. Negative 32x, negative 32y equals negative 3200, okay? So I just multiplied, again, this one here by negative 32. And the reason why I did it is they will cancel. Can you see? Right, if I add those two together, what's 72y take away 32y? That's 40y. If I add those two together, what's 6400 take away 3200? That's 3200. If you divide both sides by 40, then y equals 80. Right, that is how many millilitres. Okay, remember up here? That's how many millilitres of the y solution, of the 72% solution. So if we've got a total of 100, then the x solution must be 20 to make a total of 100. Okay, so those are the two answers. Right, I know kind of not very easy, but there we go. Just go through that one again. I'll erase it and do the bag of chips one. I think maybe you'll prefer the bag of chips one. Right, okay, 2 hot dogs. So call the hot dogs X and the bag of chips Y. So 2 hot dogs and 4 bags of chips is $6. 5 hot dogs and 5 bags of chips is $11.25. Now again, on the test, I'll try and make it easy. If I make one of these numbers like a 4y and a 4y, it might make it a little bit easier for you to calculate. So I'm going to take a look at cancelling the x's. In other words, if I make them both 10x, 2 and 5, make them both 10x, but make one plus and one minus. So I think I'll multiply this one by 2 and this one by negative 5. So this one will become a 10x and this one will become a negative 10x. So I'm going to go over here. So multiply this first one by negative 5. I will get negative 10x. I'll get negative 20y. And I will get, what's that, negative 30? Did I just multiply everything by negative 5? Okay, the second one. This is going to be 10x if I multiply by 5. It's going to be 25y if I multiply by 2. Sorry, I'm multiplying by 2, aren't I? I do apologise. I'm multiplying by 2. So 10x plus 10y equals, what's that, 2250? Right, Okay, so remember, multiply by -5 to get this one, and multiply by 2 to get that one. These will cancel. I have -10y equals, now what's that? Is that -$7.50? Divide both sides by -10, divide both sides by -10, I get y equals $0.75 or 75 cents, okay? So that's what it is, that's what y is. That is what the potato chips are, 75 cents or $0.75. Now remember, I've got to plug that back in to one of the original equations, and I think I'll choose this one here. So I'll write it above, I'll write it down here. Well, let's do this. So 2x plus 4y equals 6. Now I found out what y is. It's 0.75. So 2x plus 4 times again 0.75, that's what y is 6. So 2x plus 3, because 4 times 0.75 is 3, equals 6. Take away 3, take away 3. 2x equals 3, so x equals, divide by 2, 1.5 or $1.50. So those are your two answers for the chips and the hot dogs. Okay, last one. Right, this is that break-even thing. Okay, so always remember, when you've got a break-even, you put the equations equal to each other. So here is the revenue. That's like saying we're charging $1.30 for every bottle of mouthwash. These are the costs. It's like saying we have fixed costs of $2,500 and it costs us 50 cents to make each one of these bottles. But again, remember we're selling it for $1.30. Now, when you put them equal to each other, that's like doing this. There. When you put them equal to each other, you will get this break-even point, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract this from both sides to get the x on one side. That is 0.8x equals 2,500. Okay, divide both sides by 0.8. Divide both sides by 0.8. I'm going to need my calculator for this. So hang on a second. I think we did this in class. Right, calculator. That is 2,500 divided by 0.8 equals 3125. So x equals 3125. That is how many bottles of mouthwash you need to manufacture to break even. Now, how much does that cost is you plugging it back into the equation. Now, it doesn't matter which equation you plug it back into, but this one looks a little bit easier to me than putting it in here. So I'm just going to multiply the 3125 by 1.3. Okay, 1.3 times x. So 3125 times 1.3 equals $4,062.50. Again, that is the y value. So that is, well, if it says write it as an ordered pair, I mean, I'm okay with that. You've got the answer. Then that's how you write it. But as long as I can see those two x and y answers, okay? So there we go. That's how much you have to manufacture. That's how much it'll cost, or you'll be selling it, okay? Right, now then. So remember, this here, this was 3125 right here. 3125 right there. 3125. Can you see between 3,000 and 3,500? If the company sells 2,000 bottles, well, it's not making enough, okay? It's going to lose money. Now, for what x values will the company make a profit? Well, it's making a profit of these numbers above, okay, above that 3125. So in interval notation, if we don't include the 3125, because it'll be above, it's 3125 to infinity. And there you go, okay?